Okay, dear students, so let us see what is there in this video. So now we are going to do the next thing. What is it? The vertical projectile motion. Now, I've given these weird names, like just to segregate all the different cases so that it becomes really easy for you to grasp what is happening. So now you see, like we are referring to a vertical projectile motion. So what is happening? This is the body which is at the ground now, and we are giving it an upward velocity here. So this upward velocity is like, let us say, u, and so obviously it is going upward to, it is attaining some height, and after that it is falling downwards, and it is coming back to the basically the same point. Yes. Okay, so this is the highest point that was achieved, and let us say the total height achieved is capital H. And now in this case, we would be finding like what is the total height at which it is going. U is the initial velocity with which it was moving. Yes, and this is how it is moving now. And after this, like we want to find the total time also, like the total time of flight, everything. Okay, let us start now. So, as I have already told you that we would be first writing the Swat equations, then there will be the sign convention, we will find the origin. According to that, we will substitute the values in our formulation. So, our motion is starting at the point A. Let us say this point is B, and I'm calling this point as C. Although there is no difference between A and C, so when it comes down, I'm calling the same point as C, and when it is going up, it is known as A. So, we want to find the total height h. So first of all, we want to find the height now. So in this case, for the height, we apply the formula s is equal to u t plus half a square, but the time is not there. V square minus u square. Yes. So I am writing the Swat equation. V square minus u square is equal to 2as. Now I am referring to the motion from A to B. So I am not talking about C now. So at A, like the motion starts at A, so A will be taken as origin here, and sign convention will be, so you see, as a matter of fact, sign convention can be anything. Like you can choose any direction to be positive and any direction to be negative, but here it becomes more understandable if I say that the upward direction is positive and the downward is negative. So we can say that yes, the body wants to go upward, but the gravity, because the gravity is downwards, it is trying to stop the body going upward. So it can be taken as a retarding force for the motion of A and B. So it becomes obvious that the downward force has to be taken as negative. But if you take it the other way also, even then there will be no difference in the equation. I will do it and I will show you that. But first of all, let us go for this and let us apply our concept here. So if I talk about A to B, obviously the final velocity is 0. So this time V is 0, so negative u square. Now the gravity is in the negative direction, sign convention. So it will be negative g. Where is the displacement now? Displacement will be chosen according to the origin. So origin is A and it is going upward by a height h in the magnitude, and the upward direction is positive, which means that the displacement is positive h. So negative u square is equal to negative 2gh. This and this gets cancelled out, and from here I can say that the capital H will be u square by 2g. So again, this is another very important formula, and you can remember the formula. Like you can, if you have this kind of a case, you can apply these formulas. See, all these formulas are highly context sensitive. If it is this case, then it is valid, otherwise it is not valid. So be careful, okay, while you remember the formula. So more is the practice, better you are by using this formula. So our height is u square by 2g. So this is the first thing that we have found. Now we want to find the total time of flight. How can we do this? Now let us go for the time of flight. Okay, there are two methods for this also. Before that, let us change the sign convention as I told you, and let us take it otherwise, like upward is positive and below is negative, and let us see if we are getting the same answer and how are we going to apply it now. So our Swat equation is this: v square minus u square equal to 2as. Now, the final velocity will be taken as 0. U will be now having the negative value, but because it is having a square at the head, so we can say that it will remain as u squared. Doesn't matter. 2. Acceleration now, because it is downward is taken positive, so acceleration will be positive. But what about the displacement now? This will be taken as origin even in this case, but now it is going upward. Magnitude is h, upward is negative. So this becomes negative h now. So negative u square is equal to negative 2dh. So thereby saying that we are getting the same formulation. So I have told you that sign convention doesn't make any difference whether upward is positive or the downward is positive. Everything is the same thing. But still, you can choose your sign convention according to your whims and fancies. No problem at all. Okay. Now I'm going to erase these things. You can note this. You can pause the video and see. So after this, I would be now finding the time of flight. Now, time of flight. There are two methods for this also. Now, we want to find the time of flight, and there are two methods I told you. So, first method is like the method which is usually used by students. What they do, they first concentrate on A to B and they find the time for half of the journey. And then they say that the time taken from B to C will be actually the same, and that is why they multiply it with 2. Let us try to do this, and I'm just calling it method number 1. So I am applying my physics to the motion from A to B, and velocity here is 0. So I can say V is equal to U plus AT is the SWOT equation that I am going to use now. What is the final velocity? 0. And what is the U? Now again, I'm changing the sign convention. Please be careful. Again, I'm switching back to the normal. That is going upward is positive and the downward forces, that is gravity, is negative. So U is upward. So I have taken it positively. Now acceleration is in the downward direction, gravity, and the time is, let us say, small t. See, capital T refers to the total time duration from A to C. So I cannot write it as capital T. So it will be small t. And this G and T goes to the other side. This will be U. From here, you can find that time is U by G. So U by G is the time taken by the body to move from A to B. And we say that the time taken from B to C is again U by G. So the total time period will be equal to twice of U by G. So this is a normal method that students usually do. They break down the motion into two parts, or if there are complex equations, so they go for three parts, or like they divide the motion into three parts and then they find T1, T2, T3, and then they add that. So that is what students are usually doing. No harm in doing that. You can even remember the formula also. Another thing. Okay. Now let us go for the second method. Second method is that we are directly applying this method to A to C. You can pause the video, you can rewind the video later, you can watch it again and again, you can pause and write your notes. Keep on writing notes. That is very important. Okay. Don't miss it. If you are just listening to me and not writing anything, you're not gaining anything. Okay. Method 2. Now, method 2 is we directly concentrate on A to C. And I apply the formula S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Let's see. Now, what is the total displacement if the body is coming back to the point, like it started with the A and now it is reaching back to A? What is the total displacement? See, these are vectored quantities. No, that is why we can even apply for the total journey. Anyways, so the total displacement will be taken as 0 because it has reached the same point. A and C are basically the same point. What is U? Now upward direction is positive, so U is taken positive, and this is capital T now. Why? Because now I'm referring to the total journey plus half. Acceleration will be negative. This is T square. Accordingly, we can cancel one T here. We can take common, or like you can say half G T square goes to the other side. This T and T gets cancelled out, and you can just now by using simple principles of algebra. 2 goes to the numerator, g goes denominator. So the time period is directly coming out to be 2u by g. So this is the another method that you can concentrate on, and the time period becomes 2u by g. So this is how you do it. This is method number two for the vertical projectile motion. So my dear students, this is all, and we have done the vertical projectile motion. Another very important point that I can mention it here, but I don't know if that will be used by you people or not in IB. See, if you make a horizontal height here, so the magnitude of the speed is always coming out to be the same, but the only thing is that they are moving in the different directions, but the velocity here will be equal to the velocity here. So at this a point it is moving with u in the upward direction, so it is falling back with the same velocity. Even that is a concept here. So there will be many other things, but I would be creating another video to tell you the shortcuts and others. No problem at all. So anyways, up till now, this is what is the vertical projectile for you. After this, we would be moving to the horizontal projectile motion in the next video. Meet you there. See you. Bye.